co-founder Sabri Subi, joins me now in the studio.
I really look at business as an incredible vehicle to really make good and make change in the world. My whole thing, right, it just ultimately it comes down to like a commitment level. Like I talk about it in the course, I talk about it in my book. It's like every time I put a piece of marketing together, I imagine that I have a knife to my neck and I have no more money in the bank account, and this ad that I write, it needs to bring in money, right? That's the level of like commitment when I get into that kind of war frame of a mindset, when I want to throw everything at an ad or a campaign or an email or anything, right? And ultimately, there's no shortage of opportunity. So there's what's really important as we go through this whole period of working from home, and some people find it tougher than others, is just being very conscious of the stories that you tell yourself. Right? Because you're always telling yourself a story, no matter what that goes on. And some people tell a story where they justify the outcome of what they've arrived at based on everything. Oh, it's just like, working from home's really tough, and so I can't do that, or like COVID's happening, or whatever it might be, or I haven't been sleeping well. There's always some story that you're going to tell yourself around why you aren't doing deals, right? But realistically, like what it all comes down to is your commitment level at the end of the day. That's literally what it is. And if you set a target, Kai, for instance, on how many dials that you wanted to do and you didn't do that, whose hands is that in, the number of dials you made?
Mine.
Yeah. And that's the reason that I champion those numbers and I don't champion the output, is because I'm not in control of what your output is, right? But you can't point to anything around your dials. That's literally a matter of you not being committed enough to make the amount of dials that you need to do. And that's not just for Kai, that's for everybody, guys, right? So if you're like fully in, if you're like so committed, you will get the thing done. So don't pretend like it's in anybody else's hands but yourselves, right? Because there's two types of people. There's that person that makes the excuses of why they don't have the life that they want, and they justify everything. Like you know these hacks, you meet them, right? And it's the person that you met at a party and they tell you all the reasons why they didn't achieve their goals, and their wife that left them and took half of their money, or their business partner that screwed them, or the economy, or what their competitor, whatever it is, that's all just excuses, right? And they constantly tell themselves those stories all their life and basically convince themselves that that's the reason that they didn't get what they wanted to get. No, you just weren't committed enough, buddy. That's the real reason that no one wants to face up to, right? So when you're the person now, as we pass the month, that you need to keep yourself accountable. That's the real story around it. Don't get caught into selling yourself something else. It all comes down to your commitment level. Like if you have a month of bad quality leads coming in from an inbound perspective, that's fine, right? Go to your Infusionsoft. Pick up the telephone, pipe bomb people, call all the guys you didn't close in QG, call the people that you propped a year ago for King Kong that you couldn't close. Pitch those guys QG. All I'm saying is if you are committed enough, you will always find a way. And when you have that, right, then when you have that conviction, you don't just lower your level of activity and you don't normalize having a bad month. Do not normalize what just happened if you had a bad month. Make that thing sting. And it's no one else's fault but yourself. And if you tell yourself otherwise, I promise to you, you're just lying to yourself. Like when you get into a funk, like for instance, Brian self-identifying it, that's excellent. Self-identify that you're in a funk and then have a certain thing that you do to get you out of a funk, right? Why do you think I've got my vision boards laminated in my shower? Because even when I wake up and I am in a funk, I look at that stuff and it gets me out of a funk. Why do you think I listen to my goals every day and do all of these things, right? It's to course correct very, very quickly. And if I'm ever feeling like I lose steam or I lose momentum, that's when you take the day like you did and figure out why you're doing it all, raise your commitment level, right? Which raises your certainty, which raises your output, which gets you to the destination that you want. It's not a miracle.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure that you click the like button and subscribe. We're dropping a video on YouTube every other day. And if you've got any questions about any of the content that I covered in this video, just basically leave a comment with hashtag HeySabri in the comment section. And every week we're also trying to go through all those questions and get them answered. So go ahead, click subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.